Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So today, I Hatch4 will be unboxing this 2004 first edition's Cruise LeMelt. So this is a car that I've personally been waiting for a very long time. Because when I was 3 years old, I was aware that this car actually existed. But in all the years that I've been car hunting, I never actually came across one in the wild. So recently, I took the plunge and I bought this off a guy on Shopee. Please support my channel, link below. So this is actually a it's still new, it's still mint-ish in the card, and it's a 2003 card. This is the international card, so there's no like description or anything on the back, and it has imported in China, imported into France, imported into Malaysia, and where have you. So this is copyright 2003. Oh, but the car itself and the card says 2004. So these things are proper rare now, at least in Malaysia, because they are now, as of filming, nearly 20 years old. These things are not far off my own age. So that's the reason why I'm having a unboxing recording for them, because yeah, they are proper rare and it's quite the experience for me. So the reason why I'm unboxing this is because, number one, I am a loose car collector, much like Drifter D, although I have a little bit more respect for the card in this case. At least I'll try to have a little bit more respect for the card in this case, because now reason number two, I'm not sure how clearly you can see this on camera. I'm going to edit it later, but this is actually degrading. I do not understand why it is degrading, but I put it out to display in the sun. That might have been a mistake, because my desk, there's a window next to my desk, and then there's a roof outside the window, and then the sun shines and the sunlight reflects in through the window, and then the tires have decided to melt. I'm not sure whether you can see this on camera. I have captured a clearer version of this going over the packaging, but that's basically one of the reasons why I'm unboxing this, apart from the fact that I'm a loose collector and I generally prefer my cars to be rolling about free. So there are a few ways you can unbox cars. The generally accepted method is for acetone or nail polish remover. I actually have some nail polish remover right here, but I'm not going to use that today because this car is too valuable for that. I'm going to use the more traditional method of penknife, which is what you can see before you. So I'm going to run the edge of this penknife under these three corners here, 1, 2, and 3. Then I'll take the car out, because I'm still not sure whether I should actually keep the card or not, because these things are museum pieces at this point, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah. Now the thing about removing cards this way, it is a very delicate process, requires quite a bit of handiwork, and it is very punishing if you get it wrong, because there's a potential for scratching the car, and there's a risk that you run that if your penknife slips, yes, you'll scratch the car, you destroy the card, and there'll be no point of keeping the thing anymore. Keeping the card, I mean. Because the whole point I'm doing this is so that I can, keep the card in reasonably good shape. But you know what? It's a lot more difficult than it seems, especially when you're trying to play it safe. So we would just want to work it gently underneath all the cardboard. This might be a bad idea, to be honest, because I'm not sure if you can see this on camera. The cuts I'm making are not too clean. So, if, ladies and gentlemen, you have any questions or comments, please don't forget to leave them below. I'll try my best to answer them, especially when it concerns old cars like these. So, we've done a bit of work, and it seems like I haven't cut deep enough. You know what? I'll just give up. Alright, there you go. Off we go. There we go. So this is not going to be a good card anymore, is it? Never mind. Never one for the cards anyway. So now, how do I get this car out safely? Standard operating procedure it is then. Finger in, pull, out. There we go. Yes. Yes. Look at that. Obligatory sniff, because actually new Hot Wheels, no matter how old they are, actually smell very good. It's grease, you know. Is the grease that they put on in the manufacturing process at the factory. I don't know why. You know, like how old books have this particular smell that's really nice. Yeah, same thing here. So make sure that you keep your sharps well away from your cars. Lock up the case. And, oh, that's beautiful. Yep. Smells fresh. Alright, so this is LeMelt. This is a old Le Mans car before we had the fin, but you can actually see most of the defining characteristics already. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this on camera, but there is a tiny little V6 right behind there in the cabin. Sorry. There's a... Is that a single seat interior? Yeah, par for the course for a Le Mans car. And there are these aero barge boards around the side. There are vents on top of the wheel arches, and there's the minimalist wind tunnel design, as well as, if you flip it over, apparently these are called aero tunnels. I'm not sure how well the camera is catching this. These are called aero tunnels. They are designed to help generate downforce, I guess. So you will definitely have noticed that this does not bear any resemblance at all to a Le Mans car, because this is part of a series called Cruise. So this is a 2021 Majorette GT racer. It depicts a generic Le Mans hypercar class hypercar class vehicle. You see you have the fin, you have the big rear wing, big diffuser, you have the scalloping, you have the barge boards, you have no interior because this is Majorette we're talking about. This is the fresh metal line, so it's the cheapest line you can get. There's no interior to speak of, no suspension, no nothing. But you can see the similarities and the obvious differences. This has a much longer tail, much larger spoiler. This is because this is a Cruise. I'm not sure if that's coming up on camera. So the Cruise, they were a line, very short-lived line of Hot Wheels that had ridiculously long tails, whose designs I am actually quite fond of. So This is another cruise for comparison. There's a long story behind this that I'll save for another video, but suffice to say that they are ridiculously long. If you put them nose to nose, we'll even them up with the card like this. If you put them nose to nose, it's quite clear that this whale tail, this particular cruise model, is a lot long. I was wrong. It's just the same length as the Majorette GT Racer, and this LeMelt is about maybe half a centimeter longer than the both of them. That, ladies and gentlemen, is design. This, I mean, in my opinion, yes, design is quite subjective, but this, in my opinion, was peak design, peak art deco of the 2004s. And that is why I like this design very much. Current collectors will, I mean, generally, as far as I know, Hot Wheels collector opinion is generally not in favor of these, but I don't know. Maybe that will change in the future because, my goodness, the attention to detail on this. So I'm not sure if there are so many things you can't actually see on camera, I think. I need something to point because alright, so I have this axle here. So if you look here, this is scalloping. Not just this scalloping. This scalloping. You can actually see there's a hole in the body of the car right here. Right here. This, I do not know why it's there, but my goodness, does it look good. So if you look right here, you can actually see there's a little bit of pass through there. Same with this particular model. You can see the windshield ends here, and there's no other reason for it other than design. I wouldn't say these were the good old days, but I will say that this was peak art deco, peak design, in my opinion. Yes, design is pretty subjective, I know, but still. Also, they are quite heavy, especially if you compare it to vehicles of the modern day. This base is, I'm not sure, feels metal. A few cars during this era had full metal base, die-cast body, plastic interior. I presume this is one of them, which is why it feels a bit heavier. So yeah, that's LeMelt, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not very sure how well it rolls. This is a chopping board, so it's not a perfectly smooth surface. I use this because it's a white solid surface. It's good for my projects. It's good for general messing about with. Look at that. The jangliness is due to the fact that this is basically sandpaper. Yeah. The story behind this car, it has a long story, and I will save it for another video. So, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the second unboxing of the day. This is in a lot worse condition. So, you might notice that this is what it's supposed to look like. This is what it looks like now. This is because there should be a rubber band inside here that holds all of this together. It's no longer there because the rubber band has decided to degrade and break into many little pieces and cause a phenomenon that I call rubber rot. Apparently it happens to plastic as well, which is what you can see here. Basically, when two different plastics decide to react with each other in a way that causes them to degrade over time. This may be excavated when in contact with sunlight or other chemicals such as nail polish remover. So for this particular vehicle, I'm opening it because I think it would be actually better for it to come out, because I'm not sure how clear you can see this on camera. The paint is being scraped off. The Tampo is struggling to survive, and part of it has been left on the plastic blister itself. And this, the front is definitely uneven. It's no longer mounted straight. And the bottom, you can see the tire marks here. They should not be any tire marks, because that's essentially where the tires rolled onto pieces of the rubber band and smashed it to bits during transport or whatever, or maybe during storage. And yeah, I would like to get this out of here. So without further ado, this is a 2004 with a lot more further ado before I explain the origin, after I explain the origin of this car. So this is a 2004 also international card vehicle, because it's made in China and it has imported by Mattel Australia, Mattel Canada, Mattel Spain, Mattel Mexico, Mattel, what is that? Is that Buenos Aires? Yeah. This is a Deora. This is a Tooned Deora. It's a 2003 casting and a 2004 card copyright on the back, and it doesn't have any dating. Oh boy, I was wrong. It actually has dating. This is a 2005. It's copyright 2004 on the back of the card, and it's 2005 edition on the front of the card, car number 84. So this is a, I would say, less desirable model, because number one is not the actual Deora. Number two, it's been animalified. It's not an actual Deora, because this is a tuned version, as I mentioned earlier, which means big wheels, small cab, a chonker of a body, and it's almost a rectangle in any way you look at it. So this is not that desirable, but it does have the two surfboards. Deoras of this era came with or without surfboards. Being with surfboards is generally more desirable. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a Hot Wheels historian. I'm just a guy who really likes these cars. So I'm going to just ignore the knife. I'm going to do it the traditional way of unboxing a Hot Wheels car, because I don't want to mess with acetone with any of my cars, actually, because I've tried it on a few newer models that are, let's just say, more common. It might be a skill issue, I'll be honest. It might be a skill issue, but I just don't like it. I do not like the proximity of the acetone to the vehicle. And oh my goodness. If you look at it, you can see all this is rubber band material right down the sides. Yuck. It's actually holding the surfboards in place, so they did their job. The rubber band did its job. It died a noble death. Yeah. The front end of the Deora, I'm not sure why. You can see this on camera, I think. It's skewed. It's skewed to the left, to the driver's side. I will have to fix that somehow. I'm not sure how. Is this a flaw commonly found in Deoras? Leave a comment below. I'm not, as I said, I am not a historian of any kind. I read a little bit here and there, but that's it. You can see the damage on the card side is also quite severe. it's quite I have no words. Look at that. Look at the tires. They have crud all over them. Smudged. It's all here. I'm not very sure what to do with it. Is the surfboard removable? It might not be, actually. I don't know much about these cars, you know. So I'm actually not sure if the surfboard is removable. I don't want to force it. I'll do some research. I might add in the pinned comment below whether the surfboard is removable, because I honestly don't want to damage this. But I don't know if, I mean, I do know a way that I can restore this. Maybe that's for a future video, because I've already reached the end of my journey tonight. It is the night when I'm recording this. And yeah, I think I've reached the end of my journey tonight. Next step will be to clean this one up. Alcohol might do the job, but seriously, this is really bad damage. The fish is gone. Look at that. The fish is gone. It's all just rubber band stuff now. Oh my goodness. Look at that. It's gone. Yeah, that's a bit sad, but I don't mind. I honestly don't mind collecting stuff like this. It's imperfect. I don't have a, how do you say, more excuse for me to open them up and not treat them like museum pieces. At least it rolls smoothly. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Look at that. Paint on my fingers. The rubber band's taken the paint off. My fingers are green now. Alright, so thank you so much. Oh my goodness. That's annoying. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, I will try to clean this up on camera just a little bit, just to see if I'll be able to do it. Alright, let's have a try. So what I have here is alcohol spray, disinfectant spray, 70% alcohol. So I'm not, yeah, all-in-one disinfectant spray from Dettol. A sponsorship would be appreciated. Alright. Do not use on polished wood, painted surfaces, or acrylic plastics. Acrylic plastics. Meh. This is quite a standard method that I've invented for cleaning off rubber, because I don't know why rubber rot is quite vulnerable to alcohol. So what you want to do is you want to just pin some tissue paper over the top of the nozzle, spray it out, and then give it a wipe. So make sure that this does not stay on the car for too long. You want to just gently scrape off the stuff that's on there. You don't want to press too hard, and that's about it. You can see the paint's already coming off. That's when you know you've gone overboard. Okay, so that's one side clean as I can get it. It looks clean, but I can actually feel there's still rubber material. Once you've had a pass with the alcohol, you want to give it a dry. You want to pat it dry. You don't want to scrape. You want to gently pat it dry, like that. And once it's dry, you can see it's a little bit better. A little bit. At least it's an improvement. Oh my goodness. There is still a lot of rubber band based fluff. And I might actually have to put this in isolation, because I have a lot of cars that have rubber tires that may interact with this rubber material. This is quite challenging, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, next side. Give it a good spray. And then gentle pass. Oh no, the paints come off. First pass and the paints come off. You can see there's a stripe of green on the tissue. It should not be. It should not be that way. Shouldn't be that way. Alright. Okay, second pass. Third pass. And that's it. I'm taking a lot of paint off. That's quite literally all I can do. Give it a pat dry. Try to remove the stuff on the surfboards. Yeah, stuff on the surfboards come right off. From now on, I'm just going to use dry tissue. I don't think that the alcohol is a good idea because I might end up just taking more of the paint off. But main issue with dry tissues is that they are dry tissues. They don't really do much. You have to scrape really hard and you're not really guaranteed any reward. So yeah, this is not in good condition, ladies and gentlemen, and not in a fixable way because this rubber band has really messed this car up bad. Real bad. Alright, so the wheels should not be that much of an issue. I'm just going to brush them off. Yep. The wheels take much better to this. You can see that they're already nice and clean. No biggie. This one hasn't been cleaned yet. This one has been clean. You can see that they're nice and clean after the alcohol because they don't really react with the alcohol. The tissue paper is clean as well. So I'm going to give them all a good wipe down with the alcohol tissue. And yeah, make sure that all 4 of the tires get a good wipe down. There's really not much I can do for this car. I don't have the skills, man. I mean, what I could do is just, I don't know, what can I do? Leave it in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. What do you want to see being done to this car? I am not a skilled customizer. I do not know how to... Actually, I have tried riveting cars before, but it's something I can't do because the university is quite challenging for me to rivet a car. I have to get all my tools up and running. And it's just annoying overall. So no customization. But what I can do is just take all the paint off. Take all the rubber bits off. Then I wouldn't have to deal with it again. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to force it. Because it seems like this surfboard is stuck in there. It's probably not meant to be removed. Or maybe there's a method that I'm not aware of. But yeah, look at that. Flappy surfboards. Just like on the original Deora. There's bits of plastic trapped underneath the surfboard. Oh no. Oh, come on. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is a challenging thing. Not completely sure what I should do because the more I scrape at it, the more I'll ruin the paint. But the rubber stuff just being on there is annoying. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, I suppose that brings us to the end of this particular unboxing session. Oh my goodness. Yeah, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Roll the outro.